Hi everyone. In last video we used list parser to serialize data in form of comma separated values and used Flask API to show it in front end. Now in this video we will see how we can use Pydantic parser we will use Pydantic parser to serialize data in JSON format. So let's get started. Before that, one important thing is that this Pydantic parser uses Pydantic, and Pydantic is a Python library which is used for data validation. So first we will create object of this Pydantic class, and then we will use it in our prompt to pass data in JSON format. So I will create main.py file and will import OpenAI prompt template and .env. Now from LangChain output parsers, I will import Pydantic parser, Pydantic output parser. Also, we need to import base model and Feild from Pydantic. So from Pydantic, import base model and Feild. Now, if you receive error that Pydantic is not installed, so just do ppnv install Pydantic. Now, till it's installing, let's create class, and I will give it as name as domain, and it will take base model. So now we are continuing same example which we used in list parser. We will generate domain name from, we will ask LLM to suggest us domain name for our niche, and we want to get domain name in format like suppose if domain is example.com, then its title I want in do something like this we will try to achieve at the end. So now first we create class named domain and it takes base model, and here we need to specify what fields we want. So first thing I want is domain name, and domain name will be string. It's a field, and in field I will pass description as suggested domain name for my blog. And we also need this time, apart from domain name, we need title. Let's call it site title. This will also be string, and its description will be site title of my blog. Now our base model is ready. Let's use it in our Pydantic output parser. So I will create output parser equals Pydantic output parser, and here in Pydantic object I will pass this domain. Now, since we have output parser, now we can get format instruction equals output parser dot get format instruction, and this method will give us format instruction. Let's print out format instruction. So this is instruction which will be passed to LLM, that we want domain name and we want title like this. So okay, so output will not be like this. It will be like title and domain. So this is how we will get our output. One JSON object, and first property will be domain, second will be title, and here we will receive one domain name and one site title, which is matching to this domain name. Now we have format instruction and output parser ready. Let's create prompt template. So prompt template equals prompt template, and here I will pass my prompt. So my prompt is suggest me SEO optimized domain name. I want only one, so domain name and site title in title for my blog in niche, and here I will add placeholder as niche. Now SEO optimized and unique I will add, and I want creative site title, so that it makes the title a little bit creative. Now let's add input variables as same thing. We have only one input variable, and partial variable we have this format instruction as format instruction, and here we should attach that format instruction. Let's break it like this. Now let's create query using prompt template. Our niche is, let's keep it as quantum computing, or let's keep it LangChain. LangChain. Now we have instructions and query. Let's create LLM. I will create OpenAI, and model name I will use DaVinci. Temperature I will use 1 because I want it to have maximum creativity. Now let's get result as LLM, and then I will pass query here. Let's run the code. It says serializable init takes one positional argument, but were given two. So the thing is that I forgot to mention template. Now it will work. Yeah, it's working. So let's print out the response from LLM. This is what we got the response. Now let's use our output parser, and in output parser I will pass response output parser dot parse and then response from LLM. It's already in JSON format, and this output parser passed it as it should pass like dictionary, but it's giving like this. So let's output parser dot parse, and let's convert it to JSON, and it should be easily convertible to JSON. Yeah, it's giving the JSON method is deprecated. Use model JSON dump instead of okay. So it says that instead of using JSON, use model JSON dump, model dump JSON. Okay, it's working as expected. We are successfully able to create object and JSON object, and we have two properties here as site title and domain name. Now, if this is function, then we can return this response dot model JSON dump JSON as from this function. If we create one function, we can return it, and through Flask we can serve that as output or API response to front end. Now, another feature is in this Pydantic is that we can add validator also. So validator. So what validator does is that it checks your output if it's in proper format or not. Whatever format you want, it's in that format or not. For example, I want it to always give me domain name in format of .com, not .net. TLD should be .com basically. But if it gives .net, then I want to throw error. So for that, in my this domain class, I can add one validator, and I will create one function. I will name as domain name TLD, and this function accepts CLS and field, and that field here in validator I can tell which field I want to validate. So in my case, I want to validate domain name field. So whatever field I specify, that value of that field will be passed here in this field variable. Now I want if field dot split, and it will split for dot. So when it will split, then domain example.com will be converted as list of two elements, example and then com. So I will check last element. If last element is not equals com, then throw value error com clearly is not .com. It says throw is not defined. Let's see documentation. Okay, so in Python it should be raise instead of throw. Raise. It will raise value error, and if not, then we will just return field as it is without doing anything to it. Now we can run it, and let's intentionally make our output invalid. So I will modify my prompt as suggest me SEO optimized unique dot net domain name and run it. So this time it should give me .net. Yeah, so it gave me LangChain.net. It suggested me LangChain.net, and because of that, from validator, I got error as TLD TLD is not .com. Whatever value error we raised here, that error I got here. And also from Pydantic, we got message. Style validator are deprecated. You should migrate to Pydantic v2 as field validator. Okay, so this is another update. Instead of validator, we need to use field validator here. So something like field validator. And in field validator, we will pass domain name. I think we should import field validator here. Field validator is not defined. Oh, okay. I will format the document and let's run it again. This time we should not get that deprecation warning, and we should get this .com error because it suggested as LangChain.net. Now I will make it to quantum computing. Save it. It suggested quantum computing.net, but it's just merging its names. It's not suggesting something unique. Suggest unique and back. Let's see. Also, we need to remove this domain .net TLD so that it gives in .com. This time it gave something different. It gave quantum comp and site title. And now, suppose we want our output instead of single domain, we want it to be list of domains like 1, 2, and 3. And here also I want it to be like 1, 2, 3. Let's modify our first we will modify our domain class and then our prompt to get output in that format. So this time we want it to be list, so I will import from typing import list, and now our domain name will be list, and the site title will also be list, and this part now it will be list. So I will iterate through that list. So for domain in field, if domain, for individual domain I will check now. If if TLD of that domain is not com, then it will throw error. So our validator is also updated. Now let's update our prompt. So suggest me, let's remove this SEO optimized. Suggest me the unique.com domain names and creative site titles for each domain. In niche and format template will be same. Let's see if it works. So it gave us domain name as, it gave quantum thing, quantum nation, quantum land, and for title it gave exploring boundaries, journey into the universe, and taking quantum computing to next level. So yeah, this is in the format which we wanted, like this. And now we can use Flask to pass it to front end. So now your task is to, similar to last video, you have to create front end and then pass this response to front end, and use JavaScript to show content in your HTML page there. So this is it for Pydantic parser. Thanks for watching.